Trigger. Hey guys, what's up? Today we are looking at Trigger Warnings #2, Red Room by Ed Piskor, the godfather of Cartoonist Kayfabe. Anyway, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. So I've covered Red Room, the first series. This is issue #2 of the second wave, Trigger Warnings, which, trigger warnings obviously says, fasten your seatbelts, guys. I missed out on issue #1, sadly. The good thing about this is, it's sort of an anthology, and you don't need to, you can pick it up anywhere. I like that by design. It's a little dark, it's a little gross, so it's not for the weak of heart, of course, but apparently my fan art is in the back of this issue, so we'll get to that at the end of the issue, end of the episode, if you can hang in there till the end. And I thought it'd be fun, especially since this is trigger warnings, let's get triggered together. NSFW, probably horrifying content, but I haven't opened the book, so we're gonna experience it together, and that way I won't be spoiling the story, which made me think about doing it in this way. And I thought, I feel like on one hand, if you watch my video and I flip through the whole book, it's kind of spoiling it. So if you don't want to spoil the whole end, then stop before I get to the end. Duh. But on the other hand, when you get comic books, are you like me? I totally flip through the whole thing before I read it. So if there's anything Superman dying or something, it's probably going to be spoiled. But I can't not do it. I have to thumb through it once first, and then I read it. It's just my thing. Anyway, let's get into it. I love this cover. I think this is amazing. I think Ed Piskor is just very into comic art. He loves to draw. He spends a tremendous amount of time doing it. A lot of his pen and ink work is, I feel the main draw, no pun intended, because he's very much an indie sort of underground cartoonist. So, what you want from him is the R. Crumb and the Harvey Picard and that kind of stuff. And then he pulls out something beautiful like this great use of color with the green and orange. This is just so graphic and so, I don't know, it just really pops and looks great. I love it. Him and his Cartoonist Kayfabe, podcast host partner and fellow comic creator, writer and illustrator of the amazing Hulk Grand Design on stands right now, Jim Rugg, also part of the joy of watching their shows as creators. They're looking at comics with a creative eye, and talking about the techniques and the inking and the lettering, and that sort of stuff is very important to them. The whole shebang of the craft of making comics, and that's probably why they both are Eisner winners, because not only do they love comics, but they care about the storytelling, the craft, the characters, everything. Variant covers are all the rage. I'm not even going to talk about the next variant cover for this issue, because why bother? Great Jim Rugg, Peanuts looking character. Jim Rugg killing it on his parodies and homages and channeling other genres and styles. So many good. I mean, how could I have passed on that Zap? But I feel these variants are expensive and hard to find. But that R. Crumb, Jim Rugg, Zap variant for Trigger Warnings #1. Okay, I might need to hunt that down. Anyway, Ed killing it using these duo shades. Like, I really do love the art. Like, Red Room is very dark and graphic and, like, you know, I feel like, I'm wondering how much longer he can go with this. Like, a lot of it might already be in the can because it started out as part of his, you know, Patreon. And then, you know, you could access, like, tons of it. I guess he started out doing this during the pandemic, like, you know, sort of like, exercising dark demons and feelings of isolation and taboo. But, you know, as we're coming out of the pandemic and stuff, and just like, you can't go down this dark road for so long. It's funny, love the use of like the duo shade here. So I'm guessing that, I don't know, he does work digitally a little, I think, but I think he does work with this duo shade where they don't make it anymore, and I would really love to work with it, although I think it is a pain in the ass. I think it doesn't store well. I don't think it ages very well. I think it might fade. And so it's basically like a treated paper, and you take a chemical and, you know, sort of like go one way to create one texture, and then you go back the other way and creates like the double darker texture. Like, there's more to it than that, but that's my layman's terms gist of it. I've never worked with it. I'd like to, of course, with that and traditional Zipatone. That would be fun to create like an artistic, I hate to say boot camp, but like a sleepaway camp or something where you get to go and do, well, maybe that's the Joe Kubert school where Ed Piskor went, but I think that'd be a great experience, just like, to sort of, you know, be able to work on all types of traditional techniques of comic books, even if you're just like used to working digital or Excel at it. It's just fun. I mean, if you've ever held or looked at original comic book art boards, they're just gorgeous, and it makes me sad that they won't exist anymore on the level that they do now. So scoop up that original art. Original comic book art is expensive, especially if you go after names. Oh my God. Like, I thought, I foolishly thought that was going to be my new thing, but it's heartbreakingly expensive. So unless you got cash to burn, don't do it. This is one of the things that Ed does that I love, is like throws in like some really bright white pops. The art, I have to say, like, I have a huge amount of respect and admiration for Ed's art, but it's not always aesthetically appealing to me. And I have to say, like, this is probably, I feel like a lot of artists are only as good as their last issue. And I feel, for me, like, Ed is one of those artists that gets better and better with every issue. He's definitely always like upping his artistic game, and I feel like the faces are getting really just really solid. Not to say that they haven't always been good, because he definitely knows how to draw a character with great expression, but I feel like they just become more and more sort of like unique and believable, and like, and then I go to that, and that's such a great face. That is such a great way to end. Hey guys, Red Room inspired. Bah, 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 bah. Anyway, Red Room is good. I think it's very well written. The language. Oh, and mutilated animals. Like I said, like a trigger, right? Okay, here we go. Anyway, the Gore Gallery fan art. Like, I was so excited. Thank you, Dr. Ben Anthony, for pointing it out to me. I would have never known and perhaps missed it. Although, Red Room came out last week, but for some reason my local comic book stores got screwed on their shipment, so it was a week late, so I had to get it a week late. So I knew about it, and I had to run and pick it up yesterday. But here's my pinup. That amazing character with fur boots. I mean, how could I pass up on that? I feel like I deserved a full cover or a double page spread, but I'm just happy to have been part of it. Thanks, Ed, for including my art. I love it. I think it looks great. It totally pops. That'd be a great movie poster. That's what Dr. Ben said anyway. Anyway, so exciting to have your fan art published in a book, especially when you have like mad respect and like really like the creator who did it. Obviously, oh my gosh, and then you turn to a page like that and like, oh my god, what is happening there? That is like so over the top. Oh, and plus I get to be in the same Gore Gallery as you, as Christian Nisi, who I love his art, so that is so cool. He is definitely like going to rise above fan art status. Berry tan, and Berry frickin' tan again. Wow, that is so cool. Talk about being in good company. I love Berry Tan. He did the Street Angel, which Ed loved, and Darkest Image, and Artist on Ghost Agents, and just like one of my favorite artists. So I'm honored. Anyway, some really fun and inspired Gore Gallery art. That's cool. You gotta love Ed for like being like punk rock enough to do that. Anyway, Red Room. Trigger warnings, #2. If nothing else, pick it up because it includes my fan art in it. Just kidding. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, hit like, share my content, and I'll bring you some more soon. Thanks, guys.